So this is an interesting one that popped up in regards to James Gunn, where he explains why he thinks characters should die in the MCU. But before we jump into that here, Lewis, do you think characters should die in the MCU?
Well, there should be a way of directing them so we think they're gonna die, and I think the director and the writer's job is to kind of like entrance us in the film when we sit in the theater that we feel like, wow, the hero could actually die. But MCU in particular, they stick very close to comics, and these comics, these characters have been around for such a long time, and to tell you the truth, Matt, they never die. They die for like a couple issues and then they're brought back. So being the MCU, I do think characters should die, but moreover, when it comes to the MCU, I think it's the director's job to make us think they're gonna die, but they're not gonna die. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like where I'm at with it has a lot to do with I kind of like the concept of permadeath. And if you're going to be talking about like, have these characters come and go, I think characters need to die sometimes and not be resurrected. Like, let them die. Let us deal with that. And TV does it real well. Like TV does it well where characters, I look at Game of Thrones, like characters died left and right. And I think that works out well for like not only the catharsis of the audience, but also trying to tell these stories look at these images here. We've got, all these superheroes, these super beings that can survive all sorts of crazy stuff. So the likelihood of them, making their way through all sorts of situations are going to be probably higher than not. But I like the idea of Iron Man being dead. I don't want him coming back. I just really don't want him coming back. Not to say that I don't love RDJ, but I think he served his purpose, and bringing him back would only, I think, kind of sully it.
He's going to come back.
Yeah, I know. I know. It's going to be, well, I mean, Dr. Doolittle was such a huge flop. He's going to have to come back.
I don't think it has anything to do with that. There was never a doubt in my mind. They brought him back, and this is a spoiler if you haven't seen the end game. I mean, come on. They brought him back like a couple minutes after he died, supposedly, via, I know it's a hologram or whatever, but it's still, he's back. He's talking to his friends. He's back.
We don't know what else he had recorded.
But the mere fact that they show you that recording right away, a few minutes after, I mean, what makes death in real life so hurt so much is that you see these people, they're full of energy, they're talkative, they're alive, you're with them all the time, and then just one day they disappear, right? But when you got like something on the MCU with the Endgame, Tony Stark dies and it's really sad, but then a couple minutes later you got like a full image of him walking around talking and kind of being funny guy. So it kind of takes away from it. And he's going to come back.
Well, yeah, he's going to come back because that's going to be, I mean, there's too much money at stake. But anyway, so we're talking about James Gunn and why he thinks characters should die. We went off a tangent, but anyway. So it says here that James Gunn has done a bit of killing in the Guardians of the Galaxy and explained on Twitter why he thinks it's vital for death to happen to the MCU. Spoiler alert, Gunn here killed off Yondu in Guardians Volume 2 to much consternation with some fans. Of course, that's far from the only major death in the MCU over the past year or two, with Iron Man and Black Widow both dying in Avengers Endgame. Gunn responded to a fan on Twitter who asked him not to kill off any main characters in the forthcoming Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Sure. So he says here, or what the person says, Saurian Hairbrained, says, my only comment or request for Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is that you try not to kill any of the leads. There's no good reason for taking out a character and stress can be generated in a myriad of ways without terminating a beloved character. That being said, I'm sure I'll love the film. So in which case he says, so you don't think any characters in films should die? I can't agree. I think films help us deal with our own mortality and the mortality of those we love. And seeing through the lens of that story, fable, myth is of benefit to people. And he's not wrong. And I think he's more in line with that now because he's directing Suicide Squad, where, basically he's got this massive, like treasure trove of talent that's in this movie. Right. And, he's like, don't get attached. Don't get attached. They all gonna die.
He's a horror. He's written and directed horror movies before, so yeah, he's used to killing characters off.
Yeah, and I think cool because did you hear what happened the other day, where like there was a person who sent him a literal death threat because he had like they were like, if you kill Rocket, I'll kill you. And
That's ridiculous.
And that was like literally, yeah, that was a headline. I think they're comicbook.com or something. You know, and it was like James Gunn has a perfect response for you know, a fan that sent him a death threat. And I'm like, okay, for one, wait, what, huh? Two, huh? Really? Okay. Like, I mean, I get death threats every once in a while if they've been mailed to my home. It's unfortunate.
You can't prove anything about me.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I don't know where you were on that day, that one time, in that one place. But no, I mean, like, it's just, I get it. Fans get attached and people don't want the characters to go away. It is one of the reasons why the MCU has done as well as it is, it's one of the reasons why comic books in general have done as well as they have, and other series like that as well. It's one of the reasons why I talk a lot about cortisol levels. If you kill off a character, or you, let's say, for example, you end a show, like a show just gets canceled. There's a huge cliffhanger, a couple seasons in, fans are super involved. Show gets canceled, no conclusion. And that actually causes people physical pain because of the cortisol levels that get built up as a process, or as a result of all that. And so, you know, I'm wondering if like keeping these characters around and giving the audience what they want is one of the things that really kind of built up that loyalty. And fans are going to revolt if Rocket dies, by the way. But I don't think Rocket's going to die. For one, it's probably just, you know, cheaper to CG him than it is to actually pay somebody who's a big name talent to be on set.
Was there a leak about him dying or something?
No, I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know where that came from.
There was, I mean, I know that the Oreo the raccoon, who was the inspiration for Rocket Raccoon, like, you know, he ended up dying about a year ago. And then that's about it. So let's, you know, okay. So let me just quickly, I'll bring this up here. So just so we are, you know, just so we know what the hell's going on. This is from a Cinema Blend article here. I didn't prep the assets because I didn't think about it. This is from a couple days ago. James Gunn is getting death threats over Rocket's fate in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So it says here let's see. Okay, someone here named Pedro Gold. I'm assuming that they didn't really keep. Okay, so I'm pretty sure the guy got taken out. It's not there. But all right. So what they say here is James Gunn did the near impossible. He made a movie from a largely unheard comic book story about a group of a-holes that included the likes of a talking tree and a raccoon to the soundtrack of 70s music. And then the audience got completely behind it. There's a tons of reason why it shouldn't have worked, but Guardians of the Galaxy has become one of the most iconic movies to come out of the MCU. So much so that fans are threatening the writer-director about Rocket's fate in the third movie, which we can't see what it is because it's been removed.
I like the way they said fans plural, like if like there's a big mob of fans.
Yeah, I know. But I guess he's joking around with it. He says, "I'm also gonna die if I don't kill Rocket Raccoon." And that's a funny way of looking at it. Obviously, it's a funny way of kind of approaching it. But really, it's like, okay, fine. I mean, but that's, you know, that's just kind of where he gets that kind of weird attention. But hey, it's a lot better attention than he got a year and a half ago. So there's that.
Why? What happened?
That was the whole him getting.
I know.
Oh, okay. Don't mess with me. You know I'm a literal person. So there's that. But anyway, I think him killing off characters. I think killing off the characters is going to be something good, something fine, something fun. And if he kills Rocky, people are going to be mad. But if it's done in a meaningful way, like Yondu died, and what came out of that was I'm Mary Poppins, y'all, right? Like that, because that happened right before he died. And then like people were memeing that, and then Michael Rooker got killed and they still memed it and they were fine with it because he died in a meaningful way. If the characters die in a meaningful way, people are gonna be more fine with that. Anyway.
Yeah, and then it evolved into I'm Carrie Poppins, y'all, from The Last Jedi.
Let's not talk about that one. We've all suffered through that movie.